Sam and give him.
Hi guys, I'm trying to just share a video. Let me just see if it comes up. I want to play. I thought we'd go for a bit of a happy video because we're having a bit of a sad day. I have missed a few of you, so welcome to Defending Elvis. Let's have a look, see if I can get anything to work. So we need, if I put it on, let's have a look. So I just took Ella for a walk, which was a bit odd, but I will get used to it. Let's have a look. So what I want to do is play this video. I'm trying to take Julie's advice. Julie's advice was, 1 second, guys. Let me just get the video on there. So I'm trying to take Julie's advice, and that is that we can defend.
Look, there was a start.
Let's just get it to the beginning. We can defend as well using positive videos. Lorna just messaged me. Thank you, Lorna. She had a black Labrador for 16 years. And many of you have messaged me. Many of you have messaged me with condolences concerning Princess. Thank you very much. It does help. It does help. Let me see if I can. Hi guys, I'm trying to. So Elizabeth sent me a very nice, a beautiful video. So I'm going to try. I'll put it on here. So Julie was saying to me, "Come on, we can defend using the positive, you know, the beautiful stories that are told about Elvis by people that knew him well, positive stories. So, you know, stories from people that were close to him that actually want to tell the nice stories, which is what we like, isn't it? Isn't that what we all want, guys? That people that grew up with Elvis, that knew him well, that worked for him, the ex-wife, the ex-girlfriends, good friends, just to say nice things about him. Isn't that what Defending Elvis is all about? So Elizabeth, who was excellent and sent me this video. Let me just tell her we're playing your video. Let's have a look. Let me just tell her. We're playing your video. So Elizabeth, are you there? Playing your video. So guys, Julie's right. Let's do some defending. Playing the very sweet videos. We can stop and start it as well. Hi Jamie, hi Lorna, Karen. Let's stop and start it as well. And whilst it's playing, I'm gonna let everyone know that we're live. Okay, Tino, Yasmin, Tino. Right. Okay, let's press play. Here we go, guys. Hopefully you can hear it. So is it working? What? There's no sound.
No, he sang pretty good. He didn't impress me with anything because he was just singing old songs and everything. And so I told him, I told Bill, I said, well, I'll call Sam and give him what our thoughts and see what he says. And but anyway, I called Sam and give him mine and Bill's ideas. And he said, well, I'll call him and ask him to come into the studio tomorrow night and we'll see what we can come up with, or something to that effect, you know. And that was the beginning of all hell broke loose, didn't it?
Sure did.
Again, we hit it off so quickly. He was just a great person. And the mere fact that a man of that stature, when he came backstage, and normally, you know, when you don't know each other, you shake each other's hand, but he gave me he embraced me, and it just, you know, it was the icing on the cake.
So guys, just so you know, we're going to play a video. This is another way of defending, showing how great Elvis was. Yeah. We do, you know, we don't just do the negative type, reacting against the wrongdoing towards Elvis and Lisa from whoever. Yeah. we also, this kind of stuff, we do it. We've done some lately with Elvis's co-star. We do bring up topics where these people really are there for Elvis and really got to know the real, true Elvis.
Felt something right here in my chest. He said, "Sing it, fellas." This man, I know he's gone, but when I say this man is amazing, is because this guy, legend, it lives on. Wow.
So damn different from anybody I'd ever met. I still remember how I held his hand and his little finger when he would sing. You know, that little finger would stick out. He's just so
I love that. His little finger will stick out.
very different, and I admire people who are great showmen, and because I never had that. You know, I could never jump around and play. I'd miss it. I'd screw up somewhere, but he could do that.
He grew up around black children, so there were times when he was loose-limbed and very casual in his demeanor and very hip. He had a stance like no one else had. He had a walk like no one else had.
It is
I like that. See, Linda Thompson, 99% of the time, it says lovely things about Elvis, but every now and then she lets us down with the odd comment, negative comment, or same goes for her book. It's a lovely book, but then you've got the stuff that's not so lovely. But this is what we like. Linda, when you do all the positive stuff, how amazing he was. Linda has a beautiful way of talking about Elvis. She did way back in the 70s as well, and the 80s. This is the Linda we love.
He had a little snarl in his lip like no one else had. He had a laugh like no one else had. He had the most riveting presence of any human being I've ever encountered. He was...
Oh, I love that. I love that. The most riveting presence of any human being I've ever encountered. And look how gorgeous she looks here. Look at her hair. She looks stunning.
Was truly a one of a kind.
sent here. He was an angel. Have you seen that movie, Touched by an Angel?
Yeah.
We all was.
Guys, you know it. I think it's free on YouTube, the Touched by an Angel film. It's a beautiful film. You'll love it. Probably most of you have watched it, but go and watch it on YouTube, guys. Touched by an Angel.
Touched by the same.
Little girl with a beautiful high voice is Kathy Westmoreland.
What kind of person he was, and I love it. I wish the world were full of Elvis Presleys.
And whatever you
Every time I hear something brilliant, I'm going to repeat it. I wish the world was full of Elvis Presleys.
hear about Elvis, about how handsome he was or how warm he was, there's no way you know how really true that actually was. He was amazing. And what surprised me about him is he never met a stranger. They weren't people with Elvis. They were individuals. And when
I have to intervene. This is why we defend Elvis. This is why. I sound like a scratch record, but when I see Elvis being portrayed unfairly, and then you get amazing people like Ginger Alden, who say that's not fair. People like Ginger Alden who say, got dog's barking, sorry. He's been portrayed unfairly. He's nothing like the way that people describe him at the end of his life. And then this woman comes along and says it how it really was, how it truly is. This is why we defend Elvis.
he met you and talked to you, you thought you had already known him. He was just like, maybe he lived next door to you. It was just an amazing thing that surprised me because he was such a big star. And that surprised me so much, is that we felt like we knew each other. And I think he had that feeling with about everybody that ever met him. You come around special, that you were close.
Do we agree with that, guys? Elvis made everyone feel special, individual, like it was one-on-one, like you were the most important person to him. And I don't think it was just friends and family and co-stars and ex-girlfriends, an ex-wife, whatever it was. Could be a step brother or cousin. Elvis had this special one-on-one way about him, made you feel important.
Everything he did was funny. And one thing too that was so funny that I don't think he knew he was doing, is that his laugh was like no one else's laugh. And it would fill a room. And if you were in one room and everybody was laughing in the other, you knew which one was Elvis. So it wasn't just that he was funny, it's that even his laugh was funny. It lifted your spirits. I can't explain. He lifted your spirits. Still does.
I can't follow that, can I? But come on, Tony, be positive about Linda. She's lovely.
I'm like you. I saw him in the movies, magazines, record albums, TV. He said, but I never laid eyes on Elvis Presley. He said, but I walked up to him and I looked at him like this. Then I walked over and looked at him like that, and then I looked at him like that, and he finally looked at me and said, hey man, you're making me uncomfortable. And Jerry goes, I can't help it, man, you're the prettiest I ever seen. Sorry about the swearing, but that's what he said.
That's Jerry Reed up and down, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously, just while we're here, please subscribe to Richie Boy's YouTube channel, Memphis Flash Richie. Memphis Flash. Please subscribe to him. We're going to help him get to 100 subscribers. Please do it. Yeah, a very contagious laugh. Elvis had a contagious laugh. We can all, even now, just while we're on this live stream, we can remember Elvis's laugh, can't we, guys? It sticks in your head. Definitely lifts a room. I would say lifts a whole stadium. Yeah, Elvis had the best laugh. We all know that.
And that's verbatim exactly what he told me.
Awesome, man.
But I've heard those stories.
The rhythm, the soul.
Had everything. To me, he had everything. You know, you started looking at the guys, God almighty, he's handsome, he's tall, and he looks good, he can sing, he can play.
Got a lot of women.
Well, I didn't see, I didn't see women disliking him, but he was just, I didn't see him after them either. But I guess had I been handsome like that, I probably would have.
Had I been handsome like that, I probably would have. Let's read this. Elvis shows generosity towards a little girl, his fan with leukemia. We've seen this, guys. Heartbreaking, but also beautiful. On the 19th of April, 1972 in Albuquerque, Tingley Coliseum, rejected footage for Elvis on tour. So this was supposed to be in the Elvis on tour program. This will bring a tear to your eyes, guys. Let's read it. Denise Sanchez, an 8-year-old girl from Santa Fe, New Mexico, was a big Elvis fan since she was 4. On Christmas 1971, a tumor has detected on her. Oh. They had to amputate part of her leg and hip. It tears you apart, this does. But let's keep watching. Shortly after the cancer spread to her lungs, doctors said they couldn't do anything more for her. When Denise found out Elvis was performing in Albuquerque, New Mexico, she begged her mother to take her to his concert to meet her idol before she died.
There used to be a little girl with leukemia coming out.
So it says here, this is happening backstage at the Coliseum, and not everything that happened there was filmed.
Brett, introduce the lady there. Tell them about it.
Let's just get that up again. Sorry guys, it keeps jumping forward. Let me just... The footage by the crew filming for Elvis on tour. Denise arrives with her mother, Trudy, with the help of a cane. This is happening backstage at the Coliseum, and not everything that happened there was filmed. Denise was ashamed to meet Elvis without her hair because of the chemotherapy. Ugh.
Introduce the lady there. Tell them about it. Go in a little further, man.
Elvis knelt down and kissed the little girl and told her she was beautiful.
Great shot of his back.
Denise was very shy, and her mother kept instructing her during the meeting. Trudy, tell him what you feel. Tell him somebody she's shy. Denise had brought a poster of Elvis to sign for her. Denise, could you? She asked him, could you sing me a special song, please? So she wants Don't Cry Daddy or Love Me Tender.
No, look at him, look at him.
I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to do, okay? Just surprise.
Special. What's your favorite song?
There you go.
So he says to her, I'm not going to tell you which one I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a surprise. And now she reaches over for a kiss.
Oh, thank you so much, so much.
I mean, come on, that must have been tough to do, guys. Very, very tough, isn't it?
Calm down.
Elvis autographs Denise's poster like this: to Denise, love you, Elvis Presley. On his performance, Elvis dedicated You Gave Me a Mountain to Denise, saying this song is for a very special little girl I just met backstage, Denise. Denise was thrilled and cried through the entire song. She returned home. Oh, this is quite hard to read, actually. Saying she would never again wash her face where Elvis had kissed her. Unfortunately, not even a year after this meeting, Denise passed away. God rest her soul, Denise. Very beautiful, special girl. So Jamie, hi Jamie. Jamie says he did so many things like this that people do not know about, like buying the black handicapped lady a new wheelchair and delivered it to her front door. He did much more than just give away Cadillacs. And I do know about that story. And this is what we need more of, isn't it, guys? Yeah. You get what's Louis doing again? He's defending Elvis, all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm defending Elvis because so many people don't defend him. So many people act as if all the negative stuff that people say about him are true. So then we come along and go, that ain't fair. The reason I disagree with so many people is because Elvis, the public aren't aware how great Elvis was, how kind he was, how generous he was, how much he did for charity. They're not aware that he was such a beautiful Christian man with a heart of gold. This is what we're all about. I think sometimes people misunderstand defending Elvis. They see, oh, defending Elvis just wants drama, just wants to argue with people, just wants to create negativity. That's not what we're about. We're not about that. This is what we're about. We get infuriated when we start reading negative things. You know, it doesn't matter what book it's in, really, does it? When we see a documentary, a biography, that's negative about Elvis, which portrays him completely differently than the true man that he was, then we have things like this that show the real man, the true man. That in this, we have a 25-minute video here. In this 25-minute video, there will be many things that show how lovely Elvis was, how wonderful he was. This is why Team Elvis has built up so many subscribers, so many members, so many people that join us for our live streams and our videos, because we know the true Elvis. We know him, so we want to portray him. We don't want to brush under the carpet the lies that have been said about him. We want the world to know the truth about Elvis. So that's what this is all about, guys.
Always a gentleman. He was always kind, and he was always kind to everyone. And I think that was what really stuck out about him as a person. You never saw the times that we were with him anything but really what he was just a nice man.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
On Thursday, you will get a chance to hear some of the behind-the-scenes stories. I wish we had another hour. Real quickly, one word, if you had only one word to describe Elvis.
Nobody like him.
Yeah,
that's 3 words.
Not one word, but 3 words.
We got you covered. Steve Bender,
thank you so much. Such an honor.
Thank you.
I'm so lucky to be in a position to give. It really is a great gift to be able to give Elvis Presley. Hi Ness, just so you know guys, I've posted a couple of newspaper clips that from Ness. Ness has been sharing them on our Team Elvis chat, our Defending Elvis Presley Facebook chat. Please join our Defending Elvis Presley Facebook page. We've got well over 10,000 members now. But Ness, every now and then he'll post something, and I've been putting some of it onto our Facebook page. So please go and have a look at these newspaper clippings that Nessa, she has been putting lots of great stuff on. I need to remind myself to say she. So hi Nessa.
We were in Jackson, Mississippi, and he got word that a little boy in the hospital was dying, and that he wanted to see Elvis, and he couldn't make it to the show. He was too sick to get to the show, and so we loaded up in cars and we went to the hospital. And Elvis was wearing. Elvis met this little boy and talked to him, and he was wearing a cross that was made of garnets, and he took it off and he gave it to this child. And it was a real touching moment, just an hour or so before the show.
See, let's watch it, guys. So yeah, thanks. Richie Boy's got me a coffee. Richie Boy, very good. Don't forget, guys, please subscribe to Richie Boy. We all love Richie Boy. He's one of us, and he's my mate as well. Richie Boy is my mate. And Richie Boy has really helped me as well. He gives me some great advice, Richie Boy does. The censor, yes, he helped complete strangers.
When Elvis there, where you are? No. Nick, you come right in here, sweetheart. That's it. You face that way. Turn right around that way.
How are you, sweetheart? Hi.
And just 1 second, we're ready to roll. 1 second. And
is she pretty?
Is she pretty? Huh? Beautiful. Okay.
And this young lady, I've forgotten her name. She gives interviews now, doesn't she? I'm pretty sure she's still alive, and you can watch her as a grown-up discussing this meeting with Elvis. So Pat, thank you. Pat's got me a coffee. Pat, you're very kind. Thank you so much, Pat.
Elvis, I'd like to introduce you to Monique Brave from the Sioux Indian tribe here in Rapid City, and Mayor LaCroix, who's got a presentation for you also.
Elvis, on behalf of the citizens of Rapid City and the community, welcome to Rapid City, and we appreciate you being our first concert in our new auditorium. And this says so on our plaque. It's for your grand opening concert here.
That's fantastic.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Very nice.
And Monique?
Is she pretty? Hi, Monique.
Hi. This is a medallion of life for you, Elvis, from the Sioux Nation.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
You know, this is a good example, guys. Okay. Now you hear when Elvis says, "Oh, that's lovely," and he's talking to the gut. People trying to say Elvis is off his face on drugs. He just wanted to be stoned out of his head. You listen to his voice, guys. There is nothing off his face about Elvis yet. Okay, his face is, he's got a bit of a puffier face, and maybe his tummy's a bit puffier. But you listen to Elvis's voice, yeah. This is another thing that just proves, you know, this is. I'm not exactly sure the date of this concert. Maybe Vincenzo knows the dates, yeah. It's the concert at the Rapid City, South Dakota. Give us the date, please, Vincenzo. But you listen to Elvis's voice. This is why we defend Elvis. Yeah, Elvis was not off his face on drugs. He was on prescribed medication because he was very sick. It's that simple.
Auditorium, and this says so on our plaque. It's for your grand opening concert here.
That's fantastic.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Very nice.
And Monique?
Is she pretty? Hi, Monique.
Hi. This is a medallion of life for you, Elvis, from the Sioux Nation.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
So Jamie says we need to make a list on the video that lists all the stuff like this that Elvis did that were private or did for charity. That would be fun to just see them listed. I bet there are several. Yeah, 100%. We made a decision yesterday. Really, I made a decision that instead of having this, spending too much time with these drama type topics, that we need to do a lot more of this. There's a few people that have been suggesting it to me. People like Julie's, people like Elizabeth. There's a few others that have asked me to do this kind of stuff, more upbeat, positive stuff. Richie Boy, definitely, 100% Richie Boy is always saying to me, can we play some music? Problem is, it's difficult to play music because we get copyrighted, but 100% we're going to turn a corner and try and do a lot more upbeat stuff. But within the upbeat stuff, we're going to defend as well. So we are going to, like, even through this, I'm giving you reasons why we defend Elvis and Lisa, even though this is a positive video that really shows the good side of Elvis. I'm also throwing in why we defend during this video. So let's keep watching it, guys.
Good luck to you, Elvis.
Somebody give me a scarf. We'll pick her.
I want to read Ness's comment. Elvis did nothing but give to others, but all everyone around him did was take from him. I always say it, Nessa, the people closest to Elvis sometimes treated him the worst, the people closest to him. We worry about what was going on around Elvis right at the end as well. Now, we have concerns. Now, please follow Nessa's Facebook page. Nessa's Facebook page, her Facebook page is a fantastic defending Elvis and Lisa and the bloodline. Nessa is a big fan of Riley Keough as well. She posted something recently about Riley. Please follow Nessa. She's fantastic.
I remember everybody was, time had passed, there was still no Elvis, and everybody was saying, but where's Elvis? After a while, we heard this commotion coming down the hall leading to the ballroom where we were. The door opens, and in walks this entourage of people, you know. In the middle stood Elvis, you know. Oh, wow. And you know, up to that point in my life, I was an Elvis fan and I loved his music. But I guess I would have to say I was a casual Elvis fan.
Right.
That day when he walked into the room, I went, wow, you've got to be kidding me. I think I now know why this guy is the biggest star in the world. He walked into the room And there was something about him. You could actually feel him in the room. He had such presence, such magnetism, such charisma. You've run out of words to describe it. But when he walked into the room, you knew that he was somebody. And I went, wow. Now, like I say, I realize why he's the biggest star in the world. And he came over to all of us. He hugged us all, hugged our necks. He called us all by our first name, and welcomed us into his organization. And, I had goosebumps. It was really special. So I'll never forget my first meeting, the first time I ever met Elvis.
That's
brilliant. So just quickly, so Vincenzo says the date of that concert was the 21st of June 1977 at the Rapid City, South Dakota. Thank you for that, Vincenzo. Vincenzo knows everything, doesn't he? Yeah, he's an expert. Ness is going to give you her Facebook page. Please, obviously, follow it. So that's for Jen. Oh, thank you, Tony. Power of presence and straight from heaven. That's Elvis.
incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many times.
And it was wonderful. He was wonderful. I loved him. He was such a gentleman and all that to me, Tell me about that. Well, when they first called, the girl said, Elvis Presley, oh my God, what are we going to do? I said, hey, it's a gig and it's a good one. So we went, and when we got there, it was nothing like what we might have thought, because it was just wonderful. It was really wonderful. He was into gospel. So every once in a while when we finished rehearsing with him, we just sing gospel, all of us, And we just had a good time.
Treated everyone the same.
The same, yeah. He had black singers and white singers. He's had the Imperials, who was a men's group, very popular men's group. And we were the girls' group, the Sweet Inspiration, so.
I think people have, certain stereotypes about him.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because he was a wonderful person, so good looking, you just didn't want to even look nowhere else.
So good looking, you didn't even want to look away.
He was so handsome, but he was just as nice, fun. He cracked jokes and all that kind of crap, and you'd be singing, and he'd make you laugh and whatnot.
I'd like to introduce you to my father.
He was funny. Come on, everyone knows Elvis was hilarious.
He's been sick for a while, but he's doing very well. Would you say him, Daddy?
I love he calls him Daddy.
I came here tonight. Is there any way for me to get up here? Is there any way?
See, it always, honestly, guys, it always worries me when people have a go at Vernon. I personally think Vernon gets a bad rap. People trying to make out as if Vernon wasn't kind to Elvis and that there was resentment. I don't believe it. I think Vernon absolutely worshipped his son Elvis, and I think it was a two-way thing. Yeah, father and sons argue sometimes, of course, and have disagreements, but they truly, truly loved each other. They went through everything together, and people try and call Vernon lazy, but behind the scenes, Vernon worked his ass off for Elvis. He was very, very involved in managing Elvis, very heavily, deeply involved. Yeah. So I defend Vernon. I think he gets a bad rap. I think his birthday's coming up soon. Someone messaged me saying, I think it was Nicola. Nicola messaged me. I'm sure it was Nicola. Let's have a look. She says, hi, Louis. Happy Father's Day. You are a wonderful father to your kids. Thank you. I think the biggest defender and the only person who was with him from his birth to his death was his father, Vernon. The anniversary of Vernon's death, right, that's what it is, not his birthday. His death is the 26th of June. No pressure, but maybe you could acknowledge that in one of your shows near the time. 100% we acknowledge the anniversary of Vernon's death on the 26th of June. Thank you, Nicola. We'll do one day we'll do a Vernon Presley day so we can honor Vernon Presley. Yeah?
For him to get up here? Let's put a chair right here. I really missed him because it's been a couple of years since he's been able to go on tour with me. He's been sick.
So that's a good comment from Vincenzo. If you watch the TV special Elvis in Concert, when his dad talks at the end, you can see how broken up he was over his son's death. We know. I've seen the pictures. I do know the bit you're talking about. I've watched it. We have done some Vernon live streams before, and we've done some Vernon videos before, but thank you. Vernon kept 1 million of all time the checking account. No matter how much Elvis spent, nearly impossible for any accountant, but Vernon did it. Yeah, I think Vernon worked very hard for his son. He's very unfairly talked about, Vernon is. Just my opinion, guys. Yeah, so Memphis Flash Richie Boy, this is sad because he says, my daddy was sick for a while Elvis himself was struggling. That says it all. And come on, Vernon was very sick, wasn't he?
I'd like you to say hello to my girlfriend Ginger. Ginger, send up, honey.
Again, we're going to mention Ginger a little bit. She gets a bad rap as well. People try to play down the relationship. There's a lot of negative stuff out there about Ginger, but she is one of his biggest defenders. Ginger defends Elvis. Even to this day, right now, Ginger is defending Elvis. Last week, she was in England defending Elvis. I saw her with Spa Guy defending Elvis. She's in his dojo very soon, in August the 15th, I think. Ginger is a big defender. She's one of the few people that spent so many... How can I explain it to you? She isn't known for trashing Elvis. The problem is many of the people close to Elvis trashed him, but then they also say good things about him. Whereas Ginger, she said a few things she didn't need to say when she was very young, when she was like 22. But Ginger, everything went quiet for 30 to 40 years. When she does come out, she brings a beautiful book out that almost all of it praises Elvis. Almost all of it defends Elvis. There's a few bits in it that aren't perfect, but generally, Ginger is an Elvis defender. I'm a big fan, Ginger. And you know Elvis did truly like Ginger, because why would he call her out in his concert? Why? If you like someone, this is what you do. So let me just read that. We said, Hillbilly Cat, please subscribe to Hillbilly Cat. He has a fantastic channel. Matthew, Elvis raised a massive amount of money for the American Heart Foundation after Vernon had a heart attack. Come on. To the haters of Elvis. Listen to what Hillbilly Cat just said.
I'd like you to say hello to my girlfriend Ginger. Ginger, send up, honey. Sit down, Ginger. It's enough for her.
This story, I've heard this story many times. I love it. I'm a massive Muhammad Ali fan. Massive, massive, massive Muhammad Ali fan, yeah? So I think most of us are, yeah?
He said, in the audience tonight, we have a fellow who said he's the greatest, and he is the greatest. Muhammad Ali, stand up. Muhammad stood up. He said, Elvis, you're the greatest. And we went backstage, and then Elvis told us about how he does karate and he likes to box. He liked to get into boxing, and Muhammad told him, no, you're too pretty. He said, you do the singing, I'll do the boxing.
Muhammad Ali is in the audience, and he would like to meet you. And I was, oh yeah, bring him on back, because that was, you know, he loved Muhammad Ali. And he said, yeah, bring him on back. So Muhammad Ali comes back there, and he's got his entourage with him, and big old guys, man, you know, big bodyguard guys. And the whoa, you know, they all walk in the dressing room, and here's a little skinny guy sitting around. So Elvis and Muhammad Ali is sitting at the table. So all of a sudden, Elvis stands up, Muhammad Ali stands up. And we're all looking like, what is going on? So Elvis goes into a karate stance. Muhammad Ali goes into a boxing stance. Because Elvis loved karate, as you know. He was into it very deeply and was an 8th degree black belt. And Muhammad Ali took a stance, and Elvis just swept his feet out from under him with one leg. It happened that fast. And then but Muhammad Ali sit on the floor and looked at Elvis and started laughing, and Elvis started laughing, so we all started laughing.
Elvis had a robe made for him. I don't admire nobody, but Elvis Presley was the sweetest, most humble and nicest man you'd ever want to know. And we've got a little speech of Muhammad Ali when he was older, and he talks about Elvis. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, Richie Boy thinks they would have married. Thank you, Teresa. That's kind of you to say so. Yeah, Tony's an Ali fan as well. Come on, we grew up watching Ali, didn't we? I did, through the 70s, early 80s. We loved Ali. So Pat says Elvis wanted to get remarried to get full custody of Lisa Marie. Thank you, Pat. In my opinion, this is Jamie, I feel Vernon was afraid they would become poor again if the money and fame ran out. So that is why he kept a close eye on the finances. Plus, he was the only one Elvis could trust. I agree. Fully agree with that comment. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, so Matthew is confirming that. Elvis gave Muhammad Ali a rope. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I mean, it's all, go on YouTube, guys. There's some good video footage concerning that robe, yeah? Elvis is everything. Yes, thank you, Teresa. We want everyone to know how great Elvis was. That's what we want. There we are, Lorna, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Growing up, I loved boxing and did some. Ali was my favorite. So it was great to know Elvis and Ali were friends and respected each other. They really did love each other as well. Even my kids, my older kids, so Talia, Rio, we all loved Muhammad Ali, loved him. Right, let's see if it's going to work. What's going on?
Elvis had.
Hang on, guys. Let's just jump. Let's have a look where we are.
With one leg.
Here we go.
It happened that fast. And then, but Muhammad Ali sit on the floor and looked at Elvis and started laughing, and Elvis started laughing, so we all started laughing.
Love it. Beautiful picture. Absolutely beautiful. Love that picture.
There's two or three of them in there. Two or three of his bodyguards. Joe Esposito was number one. And so in a few minutes, he come bouncing down the stairs. And I grabbed him, and I grabbed his arm, and I said, oh, I said, Elvis, Elvis. I started holding him, you know, like that. He said, yeah. He said, cut me and I'll bleed just like you will. I said, buddy, I'm not going to cut you. I said, I'm too glad to see you. I said, you don't know you have made my life. You made me. And he said, well, he said, you got my badge? I said, yes, sir. And he said, I give it to him, and he looked at it, and he's tickled to death with it. And in a few minutes, Priscilla came in, and she said, he looked at Priscilla and said, Priscilla, I wish you could have seen the look on that boy's face when I walked in this room. He said, if I live to be 100 years old, he said, I'll never forget this boy right here as long as I live. And he got his tickle with me as I did. And when I told him my name was Gene Autry, he looked at me and he said, Gene Autry can't sing. I said, no, but Elvis can sing, can he? He said, yeah, they think somebody thinks I can. He said, they just named the street after me on Monday down the street here when they named Elvis Presley Boulevard. And he said, do you want to go?
With Anne Margaret. His charisma. He was like the John Wayne, you know. It was like John Wayne walking.
So guys, I've only got a few minutes left, so I'm going to let this play. I'm not going to be able to comment much because I literally have to go in a few minutes, but let's try. We've only got 6 minutes left, so I want to let it play.
In the room about you just knew he was in the room. You know, it was amazing. Johnny Cash had that kind of charisma, but Elvis's was something very, very special. He was, I guess it was just his honesty, his aura, the look that he had. You know, he looked like a Valentino from the country, more or less. You know, was a very handsome man.
when I saw him the first time. And I said it, I didn't say it to be cute.
I love this. I love this guy. When I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, I love this guy.
I said it because I was blown away. I'd never seen a dude that good looking. He was one of the best looking dudes, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
I mean, baby, when I walked in and saw it, there it was. You know, I ain't no fool. I see, damn, if you ain't the best looking thing I have seen. Kind of wish I was a girl right now.
By the number. So we enjoyed everything we did with Elvis. He was friendly to everybody. I don't care, even if you hurt his feelings, he would turn it off. You know, we used to say to him, people would say, really, directors and producers on the movie sets and the studio would say things to him that about the material or something that, you know, that he didn't like. But he would never say anything about it. He'd never talk back to him, so to speak. His mother taught him not to do that, and he didn't do it.
Falling all over me or whatever it is, but Elvis Presley was a thrill for me to visit with. Not just once, but a few times, and the way he treated my father. After I had met Elvis a couple of times, and then a time again he was performing in Las Vegas where my dad was visiting with me. And after the performance, we went back to the dressing room, and I introduced my dad to Elvis, Elvis to my dad, and Elvis put an arm around my father's shoulder, took him over to a little couch and sat down, and they visited for the next bunch of minutes. And I was marveling at how kind, how nice, how respectful Elvis was at that time. I appreciated that big time.
Says it all, guys, says it all.
And I do to this day.
Just went over there, and that led to a change in my whole life. I always say that once Elvis touched your life, you were never the same. He had a charisma, he had a magic. He was being very serious, and I'm looking at him, and I said, "You are too pretty to be a man." And he said, "Woman, you are crazy." And it just kind of broke the spell, you know, and that was a favorite memory of mine. But Elvis was so special, and over 150 concerts that I attended, I never stopped getting the butterflies in my stomach. When those kettle drums started, the excitement was there. My eyes would fill with tears. I wasn't a screamer, but when he walked across that stage and made eye contact with you, it made you feel like the most special person in the world.
It's a great group that he was.
Now this story is beautiful, guys. Beautiful. This is gonna play us out. The next live I do will probably be a dog, not either a drive or a dog walk. It's going to be, well, maybe a bit of both. It might be a drive that turns into a dog walk. It'll be on the Keto channel in about half an hour.
Traveling with, and we just had a great time and able to just communicate and talk, and couldn't stop looking at his eyes. They were gorgeous. She walked away with her little button, and she was pleased as punch. He wasn't any different. I mean, he was just so warm and friendly, and thank yous, and may I, and he was a Southern gentleman. I mean, you could really tell that he was a Southern gentleman and raised by a great family, just because he was just so warm and friendly and polite and wonderful.
The following program was recorded a few months ago, and it represents Elvis's last concert tour.
I'm going to see Elvis the Pelvis, and it's going to be great.
He is just the king.
The king.
He's the king.
The king of music.
King. He is the king.
He's the king. He's great. I love.
Okay, guys, 2 minutes left. Thanks for joining me. I just want you to know very quickly that Princess is in heaven now. She's in a better place. She's not suffering anymore. So she's running around having a little play.
I think any auditorium in the country that has Elvis has an experience that he never forgets, and it's one of the attractions that every building looks for. When Colonel Parker gives you the call that you have a date, after all that, it's just like you're in the Army. Everything is done by the numbers. And the arrival time is always kept at a minimum. Only a few people know what time he arrives or what airport he'll arrive in. And from the time he hits the ground until the time he's on that stage would be roughly about 8 minutes. When you feel that burst of excitement, of the enthusiasm of the crowd, you just feel as though God just landed.
I love that. I love this old footage.
Imagine he'll still be as good looking as he always was, just older.
Here we go, guys. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the JCs for electing me as one of the outstanding young men.
I just want to quickly say it was Elizabeth that sent me this video. I have watched loads of it before, but Elizabeth, thank you, because this really lifted my spirits. It was really nice of you to think of me and to send this to me. We're going to do a lot more of these kind of videos as well, because this also is a way of defending Elvis. So we can defend in different ways, can't we, guys?
When I was a child, ladies and gentlemen, I was a dreamer. And I read comic books, and I was the hero of the comic book. I saw movies, and I was the hero in the movie. So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times. And these gentlemen over here, you see these type people who care, who are dedicated, you realize that it's not possible that they might be building the kingdom of heaven. It's not too far-fetched in reality. I'd like to say that I learned very early in life that without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the road would never bend.
Hang on a minute.
Without a song. So I'll keep singing a song. Good night. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. One second. Look. 1 second, guys. See what I mean, guys? There's nothing wrong with Elvis there. Nothing wrong with Elvis. Anyway, thanks for all your well wishes for Princess. And we'll never forget her. We'll never forget her. And isn't it great that Princess could join us so regularly for dog walks? We did 1 or 2 dog walks a day with Princess. So Princess was part of Team Elvis. Take it easy, guys. Rest